This tutorial will go through the setup for projects and campaigns. This step is considered one of the most delicate aspects of Mandala analytics, so try to understand each concept and step fully. After we log into Mandala Analytics, the first dashboard is the Project Console. Before we explore the Project Console dashboard, it is essential to understand the concept of mention quota. Mandala Analytics operates on a quota basis, and we can monitor the usage for the overall account here. First and foremost, the total number of mentions available to store in an account is called account storage. You may keep and access all the mentions at any time. However, if the storage reaches 100%, newer mentions cannot flow into the account unless more space is made available by deleting mentions, projects, and campaigns. The second type of mention quota is the monthly mention usage, which is comparable to how the refill system works. When new mentions start to fill up, the available mentions per month will be reduced. Once the usage reaches to 0%, newer mentions cannot flow into the account, and we have to wait for the next month's cycle for the quota to refill up to 100% again. However, Mandala Analytics also comes with the Fair Use Mention Top-Up feature. Despite we may have used all the available mentions per month, but with fair use, the system will top up a limited number of new mentions on a daily basis. If we head to the project and campaign list, we can also check the project and campaign mentions used from the account storage. It suggests how much data was used from this project and campaign from the overall account storage. Another type of quota limit is the workable data from a given campaign. We call this campaign limit. This type of limit applies only to the deep analytics mode. The maximum number of mentions per campaign allowed is 300,000 mentions. This quantity is generally an adequate amount and more than enough for most deep analytical work. However, the good news is that our team will release the summary mode that will incorporate into the next version of Mandala Analytics to provide a larger volume of data. This new mode uses broader data to gain insights like reach and impression. Once we understand this quota concept, let's return to the Project Console. Each project may contain several campaigns. You may create as many projects and campaigns as you like. Structurally, projects and campaigns are similar to folders. For example, if Project A is a marketing event, the campaigns within could represent each activity. Another example, Project B is a food project, Project C a dessert project, and Project D a snacks project. Project C, the dessert project, could contain several dessert campaigns, such as Campaign A for cake, Campaign B for donuts, and Campaign C for chocolate. We highly suggest pre-planning a structure for projects, campaigns, and keywords before setting it in Mandala Analytics. Even making notes and drawing the layout would greatly simplify data structure and analysis down the line. Click Create a Project to begin. Give the project a name and assign it to the user group responsible for it. You can also make the project active or inactive. The former tells Mandala Analytics to start collecting and analyzing data until the monthly mention usage runs out or the maximum account storage is reached. However, if you do not wish the data to flow in, click Inactive instead. After completing this step, click Save. If you can't find a project, type its name in the search bar and combine it with the project status to look for it. Now let's dive into each project. We can see the number of mentions used up from the account storage. We can click Campaign to reveal this project's campaign lists. Next, we can identify which user made the last project update, along with the date and time. We also have the choice to control mentions flow into the project by toggling the status as active or inactive. The Project Edit button takes you to the same menu for creating a project. The Delete button deletes the project. However, suppose we decided to delete a project containing mentions. The Delete action automatically adjusts the account storage so more rooms are made available to add newer mentions. However, the monthly mention usage will not adjust, as we have already used the mentions. This mention usage quota will be refilled after the next month's cycle. Please note that we can always increase the account storage and monthly mention usage quota by upgrading the subscription or contacting our customer support anytime to customize a plan. Let's click to see some campaigns within this project. We have created several campaigns. If you wish to create a new campaign, click Create a Campaign, but first, see all the details of what this dashboard contains. You can also view the icons for the data sources along with the keyword sets. The campaign start and end dates are provided here. We can make the end date always on, meaning the mentions will continue adding indefinitely until reaching the following conditions. If working in the deep analytics mode, the campaign mentions reach the maximum volume of 300,000. The account storage is full. The monthly mention usage reach 0%. Again, we can set the campaign as active or inactive. Finally, you can choose from several actions. The first button is to access the dashboards for social listening. The second is Forum. The third is Websites. We could view the summary reports. As for resetting this campaign, a word of reminder, the account storage will be adjusted if we decide to reset the campaign. However, the monthly mention usage will not adjust, as it depends on whether we have used mentions from the monthly quota or not. Next, you can also duplicate the campaign. This duplicates the entire campaign and makes some adjustments. Duplication is great, as sometimes we do not wish to create a fresh and brand new campaign. This feature offers the flexibility to make adjustments, such as keeping the previous set of keywords, but only changing the data time frame. The good news is that mentions from the duplicated campaign will not increase the account storage or even use the monthly mention usage, since the mentions came from the old data set. However, if we make additional changes that trigger Mandala Analytics to gather new mentions, this will ultimately affect the monthly mention usage and the account storage. You can also edit the campaign anytime, and this button allows you to delete this campaign. If we decided to delete the campaign, the procedures still apply the same as if we deleted a project. Finally, we can see who made the last adjustment to this campaign. Similar to the project dashboard, we can also search and filter for campaigns here. Now, it's time to demonstrate how we can set up a new campaign. First, we need to click Create a Campaign. However, to make this tutorial more straightforward, we have a pre-made campaign to speed it up. So go ahead and click Edit Campaign. Please note, whether we create a new or edit an existing campaign, the settings menu is the same, as we will discover soon. To start, give this campaign a name and a description to refer to in the future. Now for the important part, the campaign mention limit, which is to set the limit for mentions in this campaign. The current minimal limit is 5,000 mentions per campaign. Please bear in mind that you may not reduce this limit lower than the previous setting. We suggest the solution to this is via duplicating the campaign and adjusting the limit again. The following section sets the campaign data time frame. This signals Mandala Analytics to collect the data from the start date to the end date, or you can set it as always on. Now it's time to scope the mentions. The more we clearly define the scope of data, the better data we can get out of Mandala Analytics. The scope includes the data time frame, as discussed, and also includes the social media platforms. Follow using interest channels. We may assign Mandala Analytics to collect mentions from particular interests for the chosen countries by using interest channels. For example, we can choose the shopping category and select USA and Japan, then click Add. Mandala Analytics will gather mentions from each country's preferred interests before collecting information from more comprehensive sources. Next are the focus channels and custom channels. In some cases, you may wish to collect and study mentions from particular platforms and channels. Focus channels and custom channels are the solutions. They differ in their data gathering speeds. Focus channels will be much faster. You can start to add new channels by clicking Add. You must log into your social account to use focus and custom channels. Navigate to the Accounts and Settings and select Connect Social Accounts. For example, if we wish to add a Facebook public page, we must connect and accept the connections. This procedure applies to other platforms as well. There is one exception. Due to Instagram regulations, if we want to focus on specific Instagram accounts, the user needs to log in with an Instagram business account or Instagram creator account. An Instagram personal account is not permitted. The account must also link to at least one Facebook page. You may only search and access the Instagram business account or Instagram creator account. A personal Instagram account is not permitted. You can add channels just like this. We may exclude specific channels if we do not wish Mandala Analytics to gather mentions from them. We do this by typing the channel name accurately or copying and pasting the channel URL as directed. It helps if we can scope the data by language. We can type in any language, but for now, let's choose all. The last part is the keyword settings we covered in the previous tutorials. Please make sure to go back and watch them if you wish to know how to set the keywords. Before we finish setting up, we cannot stress enough that the settings should all be clearly defined and aligned with our objectives. Reminding ourselves about this concept helps Mandala Analytics find the right mentions and manage the quota limit to the appropriate level. Once you are happy, click Save Campaign Setting, and the system will start collecting and analyzing mentions for you in less than 10 minutes. In the following videos, we will cover more on analyzing and revealing insights from Mandala Analytics. Once you are ready, click this social listening icon and get started. See you soon in the next video.